check. Check 1, 2, check, testing, testing.
pass it around. Greg.
That's the oil when you're running Schwartz, you know? Make it sense? Yeah, it takes you to the next dimension.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll bring something. Yeah, something like that.
Can you hand me that little lighter? Let's do the invocation. Let's all breathe as one heart, as one light and one consciousness. We are embodied light that took these forms for a time. We come from an eternal place beyond time. We are living flames of God's own energy. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Spirit of the living God, thank you so much for showing us your light, your truth, your love. Your compassion is everywhere. Fill us with the Holy Spirit. Fill us with that light, that fire, divine. Heal, illumine, quicken our beings, our reality, our frequencies with thine eternal frequency. We are your children. We come from you, we return to you. Touch each one now with the hand of living fire. Fill this room with your holy angels. We invite all the masters, Jesus, Cthulhu, El Moria, Saint Germain, Serapis Bey, the cosmic Christ, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all beings of light from across the universe, any dimension, to come raise the vibration in each of us and those on the broadcast. May we be thy representatives of living truth, of loving kindness, of the goodness that you want us to exemplify. May we be the healers of our family, our cities, our nation, and let goodness and wisdom and love spread around the world like fire. Couple tips before we start. Stillness is the door to cosmic consciousness. Inside of you is a place of stillness, of absolute peace. When we work together in that flow field of stillness, we create a doorway, a ladder of light that the angels will come into this room with their blessings, with their gifts, with amazing insights, with divine beauty, unspeakable. So, Yogananda says, and Jesus says, if thy eye be single, thy body shall be full of light. And the Christ center is between the eyebrows here. That's where the visions will happen. That's where we see God. Together, we're going to co-create a beautiful, holy energy of stillness and peace. And then we're going to take this energy that we build in this room and we're going to send it around the world where places there is no peace. They don't know peace. And we're going to heal the planet. As light workers for the next 20 minutes, commit to this meditation. Go deeper than you have ever gone for yourself, for your family, for mankind. The angels will help you. The masters are here. It will be beautiful. It will be fun. Let's get to work. Let's keep our eyes closed for a few more minutes. You were in a place beyond time, beyond space. You were in an eternal place where there is only joy and beauty. Imagine now that all power in heaven and earth is given to you. You are a son, a daughter of God. Your assignment is to help mankind evolve. In your heart is a divine flame. When you speak, your words are recorded forever with power, love, and wisdom. We're going to chant Om, and first we're going to erase, by the power of the God flame within our hearts, all errors that have happened in the past, not only in our lives, but our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors. And we're going to chant Om and erase all that pain, all that error, and rewrite history with love. So let's all raise our hands and let the light of your God presence speak through you now. Now let's chant Om for the present moment. Whatever is happening around the world, in governments, in societies, wherever there is crime, wherever there is a lost child, someone in a hospital, someone in hospice, someone who needs help right now, let's give it to them. Now let's pay it forward for our children, our grandchildren, the world, the future of mankind. May there never be another war. May every child have proper education and food and shelter. May this world be a heaven world of peace and love. And may the angels and the masters walk and talk with mankind in this golden crystal age of the future. Feels so good. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, beloved masters and angels and beings of light that have been meditating with us, inspiring us with your light and love. This is the Temple of Clarity. We are a Heart Center organization. The Heart Center movement is not really organized, there's no membership or anything. It's just light workers coming together, meditating, praying, singing, and dancing. So there's a lot to the Heart Center. Every modality that brings you to the closer to God, from sun gazing, proper diet, the diet of the adepts, to prayer, meditation, rhythmic prayer, which is the science of the spoken word, using your throat chakra to help and invite the cosmic beings and angels to do cosmic work for the earth. All these modalities are part of the toolkit, we'll say, of the Universal Brotherhood of Light. They teach all these modalities. They teach the teachers, the avatars, the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas. These divine beings are the saviors of saviors from the beginning of time. In the Heart Center movement, we have a messenger, a living messenger, David Christopher Lewis. 10 years ago, he became clairaudient, and the mantle of the prophet, the gift of the Holy Spirit came on him, and he was able to receive the messages of the masters. There has always been a messenger on the earth. The masters and the angels have always used avatars, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, or these ones that they choose for whatever purpose, for whatever reason, that have done the work, that are the clear crystal chalice of the Holy Spirit, as David is. So there will be an event here in 2 weeks. David's going to be here. There will be live messages from the Ascended Masters. It is electrifying. It is thrilling. It is life-changing. What's about to happen here in this living room? We take out all my furniture, set up chairs, it'll be live broadcast around the world. But it will be a powerful, life-changing event in 2 weeks right here. I can feel the masters have already ramped up our meditations and things. So every Tuesday I read the Heart Center goals and the Heart Center's vision for the future. And I'll read it again, and then we'll get to our guest speaker. Heart Center, our goals. We realize personal enlightenment through our higher God self and share the teachings of the Ascended Masters and the Masters of East and West. We help the Universal Brotherhood and Sisterhood of Light raise our planet in love and joy. Our vision for the future is that we live in sustainable golden crystal age communities in joy and in harmony with Mother Nature. Using solar sciences of the spirit, we radiate light and we live and love as one. So if we go back in time, there's always been spiritual communities, there's always been a Sangha, there's always been the Essenes or different places around the world where the light will be channeled down to and distributed around the world. And these little pockets around the world, Egypt, Peru, Bulgaria, Romania, San Diego, wherever these pockets are, they are the transformers where the light comes down and then we distribute the light around the world. Because this earth, the masters have always said, is a school ground, a place where souls learn to evolve, to discover their own inner God self through direct experience. And the masters teach how to do that in all those different modalities. We're going to take a short break for a few minutes because I want to set up a second camera so I can film Craig here, and he's going to share with us his healing modalities. And if anybody needs to use the bathroom, there's one over here and there's also one upstairs. And let's just take a 5-minute break and then we'll get to our presentation today. There's also water and maybe some snacks. Can I get you anything, Patricia?
Sorry?
What are those?
My holster.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of like my man bag. Keeps all my...
Burning Man bag.
I use it at Burning Man. I use it year round.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Yes.
Wow.
Alright. So, it's really more of an individualized experience, but we'll share it as best we can. Yeah.
Whoa, that's big.
It's big.
Can you help putting it in?
Yeah.
Put it like that?
Yeah, perfect.
Is that for the feet?
This is where somebody's gonna lay on it.
Ah. So that's not gonna be the head then, huh?
It is.
Oh.
Again, I didn't realize it was quite a presentation so much as me sharing what I got.
You go anyway.
I should probably move.
No,
No, you're
you
fine.
got the best seat. You're fine. Yeah, so if I had known that it was quite the presentation, I would have brought.
Is that silver tone copper? Or is that
Brass.
Oh, it's brass.
So for the people on the broadcast, Craig,
Yeah.
when you're ready,
Yeah.
you have to use the microphone.
I need like one more minute.
Okay, take your time.
So what I'm setting up is something called the Vibroacoustic Sound Lounge.
Wow.
What I'm setting up is something called the Vibroacoustic Sound Lounge. It's a vibrational therapy device created by Dr. Schwartz. Technology's been around for 40 years, frequency therapy. I represent a company called Holistic Health Science, and we are focused on sound, light, and subtle energy therapy devices. And we have a multitude of different devices. This is our flagship product. It was created in July of last year. We began shipping and distributing this in November of this past year. And this bed is a delivery device for frequency therapy. So one by one, we can all try this frequency therapy. And we can do some healing work if there are other healers in the room, as I'm sure there are. Or we can just experience it. We're all in the room, so we're all going to experience the frequencies. However, whoever's on the bed is at ground zero of that feeling. And I'm excited to share it with all of you. I need 2 more minutes, and we'll get this going. And I wonder what this will be like for those on the broadcast. Cool. And said, we'll all. Other people on the broadcast?
Oh, shit.
Exciting. How exciting.
It's like 6.
Why, hello, universe. Who wants to go first?
Patricia, you seem to be in a good spot there.
Wonderful.
It looks very comfortable.
It does.
It is very comfortable. Patricia, how old are you?
82 going on 83.
Almost had it. The oldest participant I've had on the bed is 89. She's amazing. The youngest I've had is 6, I think.
What was that the youngest?
6, I think, 7. Now, the beauty of this device, and this one in particular, is there's a gain and a control. And in the end, it's just music. Right? That's kind of the beauty of it. It is specific, does have specific frequencies embedded within the music, but it's nothing different than anything you might have heard or listened to before. Alright, let's take that off. So what you're listening to now is one of our tracks. So Dr. Schwartz has been creating therapeutic music for the last 10 years. As I'd mentioned, frequency therapy has been around for almost 40 years. It was originally coined vibrational therapy, VAT for short, V-A-T, by a gentleman by the name of Olav Skile, somewhere in Europe. There are people that are trained directly by him, and I've spoken with several of them. And these folks use one straight single frequency for an intended response or an intended impact on your physiology. Woo-hoo-hoo! We'll turn that down a little bit. So you can all touch the bed if you'd like, and you can feel exactly what we're talking about. This is about 55% of the power. This is one of the most powerful devices on the market today. There are other sound tables that are on the market as well. What you're looking at is an ergonomically designed bed with core foam. It has multiple what they call tactile transducers, basically half of a speaker. And that tactile transducer transmits a frequency up through the body of those that are on it. So you're going to hear the tune, which is what you're hearing through the bells and gongs. This particular track is Himalayan singing bowls, crystal bowls, bells and gongs. And then underneath it are several frequencies which Dr. Stephen Schwartz has embedded underneath the music. And that's what activates the bed itself. The music is readily available. It's available online at bioharmonic.technologies.com. You can stream it for free. It's also available for download and purchase. And this is a song that you use to clear energy from your space, dwelling, and your body. I sage my house once a month, and I play this song through my stereo system while I'm doing my sage and going through with my Palo Santo. We have music that can clear energy. We have songs that can welcome in abundance. We have songs that can help and usher in transformation. Other songs that work through physiological ailments. There's a frequency that helps to regenerate bone. There's a frequency that helps to heal wounds, physical wounds. And Dr. Stephen Schwartz has embedded specific frequencies like the phi ratio, sacred geometries, and different, everything's tuned to 432 hertz, for example. And these different songs have a different experience. Personally, I have this one in my home. I use it every day. My wife loves it. And I do my morning meditation on it. So instead of sitting for 15 or 20 minutes in a chair, I lay on my sound table. And I go through my morning meditation while I listen to this track, actually, energy clearing. And it feeds directly into abundance. So as I do my visualizations and I see how everything is going to pan out and how everything is going to succeed, I listen to abundance, which is kind of like a dance party. And again, it's embedded with specific frequencies that work with my physiology or my musculoskeletal system to have that intended impact. Somebody should be on this bed. All right, so we'll take it from the beginning. And what I think is probably best, just based on time, is that we'll give everybody kind of a few minutes on it just to sort of experience it. That sounds good. If you can take your shoes off, is that okay?
Sure.
Excellent.
With a room full of people that love you.
You're surrounded by a lot of love and a lot of energy. All right, so I'm going to start with this pretty low, and I'm going to put the headphones over your ears, and you're going to tell me how you feel, and we're going to ease into it. You want a little more? We'll give you a little more. Is that comfortable over your ears? Mm-hmm. Wonderful. All right. Here comes Playbook. Thank you. This is so nice. It's like I'm in a concert hall. First of all, thank you for the Heart Center for hosting me and having us and allowing us to share this wonderful technology with all of you. I appreciate you. And I'm thankful to be here. And everybody out there in the interweb, hello. So what we're experiencing, let's give it a little more. Yeah, it takes about a minute or so for it to get going. And then, yeah, starting to feel it. This particular track starts off pretty intense, and I want to make sure we don't disturb, but it's going. How do you feel? You feel the bed? Can you hear me? You okay? I think that's a yes. That's good. So again, there's the audible tone that she's hearing through the headphones, which is really the higher frequencies, and then the lower frequencies, which she'll begin to feel through the bed, which are starting to come through now. And then again, we'll get it a little bit more intense. For each person, it's a little bit different. Dr. Steve and myself have figured out that we are vibrational junkies, and that we really like those more powerful therapeutics. We can go a little louder. So what you're hearing now is a base set of frequencies that are underlaid. What she's listening to is the Himalayan bowls, and they're very it's just a recording of somebody playing those bowls live. I'm not sure if any of you have singing bowl CDs, which I do, or singing bowls live, right? Do you have a CD? You have bowls, right? So I've been looking for the longest time of a way that I can recreate the sounds of a bowl live on a tape that I can take with me when I can't take my bowls with me, or when I'm traveling, or when I'm... And this bed, though it's probably easier to take bowls with me than it is this bed, it is something that allows me to do that, right? Because I try. Hey, I got it here, right? I throw it in the back of my Prius, and it's really wonderful. So this track runs about 16 minutes, 17 minutes, and it takes you through a progression of spinal frequencies. So one by one, you relax the spine. C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, all the way down the spine. And this is one of the more intense. This is about a minute and a half into the track. And then this one kind of starts with a bang, and then it starts to ease off. So it really brings the body. It's interesting. Sound is the most powerful delivery system to send a message to the cells of the body. So regardless of what the brain is sending as far as signals, right? Oftentimes our brains are saying go, 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 go. The sounds that we send to the body can change that. And we can say actually slow down, relax, and calm. And over time, the sound wins, and the body calms, and it becomes very powerful in that respect. Does anybody have any questions?
Can you combine it with crystals and essential oils and the other good stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah, in the end, it's music, right? It's a powerful delivery system, and it's powerful therapeutic music, but it's just that. It's music.
Going through different sounds like do, re, mi, fa, like different chakras.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's going higher the
Mm-hmm.
frequencies.
That's right.
Can you put it in certain areas, like on the back, if you want to target a specific area of the back?
This particular bed runs on one circuit. We do have in research and development a massage table, so that you can actually do energetic work and body work, as well as chiropractic. Remember, Steve is a chiropractor. I've seen him do adjustments on this bed, which is remarkable. However, it's contoured, to put you in a neutral posture position. So it's not It's not really ideal. It's also soft. You want something that's not going to give to do an adjustment. However, this can be layered in with many different modalities. I was mentioning before, I personally find it difficult to do Reiki while the bed is working, just because the vibrations are so strong. I don't get the feeling or the sense. However, before and after sessions, Reiki is wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful. I do have an apothecary of essential oils here if anybody's interested. I've got quite the collection, and I'm happy to share that. Yeah, it's very soothing, it's very calming, and it's very relaxing. I have an eye mask as well. Where's the eye mask? Here we go. Would you like the eye mask? Would you like to cover your eyes?
I can't hear you.
No, you can't hear me. I forget that they can't hear me. Anyway, it's funny. So, yeah, right? So, Steve and myself share these experiences on a regular basis. Every Tuesday I'm at Eve here in Encinitas locally, offering sound healings and walking people through the experience. Intertemple Tuesdays, that's right. I've been there since the very beginning with Jacqueline. We have an office down in Bankers Hill where we have the bed set up. We're going to be opening a clinic where folks can come in and participate in the sound healing on a regular basis. And I share this with as many people as I can, as often as I can. It's very powerful, particularly energy clearing. Energy clearing is kind of that baseline starting point. It empties the bucket, if you will. Especially as healers or just as everyday people, we're constantly bombarded with other people's energy. And sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it's not such a great thing. We try and be impervious, and sometimes things stick, and you need a little something to shake it off, right? Meditation certainly helps, love certainly helps, and every now and again some powerful frequency does the trick. I have many healers that get on this bed and they come off grounded and centered and very focused, focusing their own energy and more powerful and amplified.
How long is usually the session?
So the tracks run anywhere between 5 and 30 minutes. I've created playlists that allow you to put multiple playlists together. As I already mentioned, Energy Clearing into Abundance is a morning favorite for me. An evening favorite for me is Energy Clearing into a track called Cell Cleanser, which detoxifies the cells, detoxifies the body from a cellular level. And very powerful. Cell Cleanser, very powerful therapeutic. That gives a good vibration, and it's constant, it's entrancing. It involves theta brainwave states, and it really takes you on a journey. I think one of the things that Steve... Oh, absolutely. Sleep or deep meditative state, right? These are wonderful in a corporate setting or break room, right? I have it in my house. I work from my house, and if I'm having a particularly rough day, yeah, I just drop in. I come home from work and I say, honey, I had a really rough day. I give her a kiss hello and a hug, and then I go in the sound lounge for energy clearing. We do a lot of trade shows. Constantly sharing this tech. We were at the Conscious Life Expo. We had a holistic happy hour in our room, sharing this technology. We had an electric harp plugged into it. I think maybe we need to come back, and I'll bring Steve, and we'll bring our setup. Steve plays the didgeridoo, and he has a laptop where he creates all the music, and he can actually do a sound healing for the room. And I have a speaker that we can connect. And everybody in the room can experience the Schumann frequency or the phi ratio or sacred geometries, and really kind of feel those frequencies, and we can do it as a group while somebody lays and experiences it on the sound lounge. We do these holistic happy hours. We're trying to do them every month. It's proving to be a little difficult, so every month, every other month, but you can find us on Facebook, and we post all of our events there. There's a 30-minute sound healing that Steve did in frequency demonstration.
You can combine with pranic healing and the other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody else want to try? This is the hardest thing, is to get somebody up. But it's just so difficult. I don't like doing it. So the signal will be just a feeling on the arm, right? So that'll be like, come back. If you drift off, you just come back, and yes. You can remove the mask at your leisure. It'll be bright out here.
Okay, why don't you give the microphone to Patricia and she'll critique it.
Sure. Tell us. So how was that?
Very nice. And the best part was when the whole bed vibrated. I liked that. Felt really good.
Do you feel brand new?
I don't know. I just feel good.
So often, speechlessness is a common afterthought. Oftentimes, folks get off it and they say, I don't really know what to say. That was great. I feel good, and just leave it at that. Shall we get you up?
Okay.
And they call it speechless. I always wanted to try something similar to that. Now, I was really surprised. I wasn't expecting that when I came in. I didn't know that you guys got it. It's kind of meditation.
I don't know. To tell you, there's often traveling that happens on this bed. People tell me regularly that they were not here. They tell me of Bali and Thailand. I tell them the bed stayed here the whole time. Yeah, absolutely. She pregnant? Shall we do energy clearing? Yes, please. Alright. So we can go a little higher.
Too high.
70%. I had somebody get on it today, and he said, make it move. Okay. This is 70%. Until we get going, we'll hear a whoa. You are love. Into a little nowhere. And somebody's trying another track. We'll do that next. So what you're looking for, when I put hundreds of people on this bed, Hello, forgot about the interweb. So what I'm looking for, and I've put hundreds of people on this particular sound table, is that release. The deep breath, the sighs, the emotional release that can come up and out. Energy clearing is very powerful therapeutic by itself, and it's important. Far too often in our lives we suppress and press down feelings of joy or pain or sorrow or suffering. That all needs a path to come up and out. That comes out through sighs, sometimes screams, sometimes crying, sometimes laughter. I had a woman on this bed 4 weeks ago. Yeah, we'll get going. And she laughed hysterically the entire time for about 15 minutes. Just guttural, deep laughing. And I mean, I said, so how was that? And she said, it was wonderful. She said, I don't know why, but all I could do was laugh. And that energy is what kept coming up and out. Typically takes a couple minutes for the body to understand what's happening and to experience. This is energy clearing. Same track. But that first instance, that first frequency that hits, the body just needs to feel it and figure it out and appreciate the experience, and then the frequencies start to take over, and the relaxation will usually come in. Yeah, solfeggio for sure. Yeah. So I usually look for breathing patterns, right? I want to see a consistent breathing pattern. Sometimes patterns get disrupted as energy moves up and flutters and releases. And then you're looking for those sighs, right? Very powerful. The hands are also very sensitive. The hands being so thin, the frequencies traveling up through the hands, very powerful. You can see tense, you can see that flutter up and flutter out, and then oftentimes you'll see a release. So when the bed is at this level, I want to fix that. Again, that energetic release. So, like I said, we're at about 80% right now, or 8 out of 10. I personally take it to 11, so I can tell you, I can tell you that there's more. But again, if I ask the question, are you sensitive to sound and energy? Sometimes people don't know the answer to that, right? Some people will tell you, yes, I'm sensitive to sound. And then we pull it back and we ease our way up. There's two different there's it's an interesting perspective. It's an interesting perspective. The the vibration, again, it's a very intense bed. It was designed to give those that want more, right? And the ability to turn down and pull back to those that want to pull back.
Can you regulate that you're experiencing this yourself? Switch to be next to you, or that's not a very good idea?
So I'll set it up when I set it up at my house. When I set it up at my house, I know where the controls are. And if something's too intense or not intense enough, I will turn it up. Depending on what's happening in the environment. I mean, you can hear the releases right now as they're coming up and out. It's really wonderful. It is a matter of identifying just that right volume and just that right amount so that the body can surrender and release. Just as you said, it's very well put. And there are experiences to be had. I have people that, I had a gal on it today that was in a car accident 2 weeks ago. I had another gal on it today that had been going through a spout of anger. She's the nicest woman. She's on it. She comes and sees me every Tuesday. She's another healer. Today she tells me that I've had these episodes of anger. She's like a Midwestern blonde. I mean, she's like the sweetest thing. And it was, again, something that even she recognized as being suppressed and pressed down, and it came up and out, and she said, I'm good now. And I said, would you like another session? And she said, I would. And what do you, what track? What would you like to listen to? And energy clearing, right? Just, again, clearing that energy and getting it up and out. And having that wonderful experience. So she's right about 7 minutes, 8 minutes, just working through those spinal frequencies. And we can pull her off soon in the interest of time. I know we want to get some more people here to share their experiences. And does that sound good? All right. Like I said, next time I will be more prepared. Hello. Hello. Yes. Took us a little while to hone in on that.
Very effective, especially if you're already a healer. Like, you can feel, not only are you getting a healing, you're healing at the same time. I mean, I literally...
That vibration, that first vibration, when it hit my entire body, it was vibrating.
The sacred geometry,
yeah.
I was it. Like, this pentacle right here, the path of Venus, that was my body.
Yeah, I felt it. It was really powerful.
So I was getting it, and I was giving it at the same time.
Wonderful.
It was very powerful. So
excellent.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Independence during the session.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely. Yeah, I asked.
For AG sessions, you want to take anything that's metal off, like wrist, watches.
Yeah, maybe I should.
You don't want to have too much blockage of the energy.
Energy is energy. Yeah, no, energy is energy. I usually have people take things out of their pockets. You don't have any pockets. The crystals are fine. I keep crystals on me.
And this on my solar plexus, like, it needed to be there, almost as an
Grounded.
Because I go very much into my heart, so this has to, it almost like pulled me, it's a lithium quartz, so it has that
Weight.
earthing energy, so.
Who's next?
Very appropriate.
Sure. Yeah. Shall we try another track? Don't be sorry. Thank you.
Integrating this one for a bit.
It'll take a second. Yeah, you're very welcome. Again, it works with cellular memory. So a lot of times, even as healers, we have trapped in our cells memories of trauma, personal or others, and this will shake that out. Boris, what would you like to try today?
Tell me what's the menu.
Sure. So I have a track that clears energy, which we've just experienced. I have another track which welcomes in abundance. Okay. I have a track that focuses on brain and nervous system stimulation. It's kind of like a shamanic journey. And then I have a track which focuses on cellular cleansing and detoxification. And that'll cleanse and detoxify emotional as well as physical.
So what should be the first one? I want to experience the abundance part. Is it only one?
Abundance, if you have a regular meditative practice, which the beauty of being here is that I know everybody does, abundance is a very powerful track. Like I said, I listen to it every day.
Let's go for it.
It's kind of like a dance party. And Yeah, if you like level 10, that's a good one. As I usually make recommendation in this particular track, you're welcoming in abundance. Whatever it is that you're thinking about for the next 10 or 15 minutes, as long as you're listening to these frequencies, is what will welcome into your life in abundance. So keep your thoughts focused on what you want and not into the negative talk that we can all sometimes drift into. It's a little difficult to do, but if you try hard enough, you can do that. So absolutely. Not only bringing your vision board, not only looking at what's on that vision board, feeling the accomplishment and feeling that it's already received, exactly, and staying focused on that, you'll enjoy it. I'll also let you know the initial drop. The initial drop. It's my favorite, but I know it's coming, and you don't. So I'm just gonna let you know. Again, if you want to say whoa, you want to say hey, that's a release too. And that's okay, because I'm going to give it to you, because I think that's what you're looking for. Just the beginning. So my feet usually do exactly what his feet are doing. My fingers usually do exactly what his fingers are doing. It's this, let's get the icon. Again, just a very powerful therapeutic. It's kind of like a dance party. The bass and that feeling, it's all-encompassing, very much like those low-end frequencies that start to fill in underneath the Himalayan bowls. Dr. Schwartz did a really nice job in creating a therapeutic. Now again, on its surface, it sounds like you're at a dance club listening to a pop song. However, the therapeutics that are underneath this, very powerful and very much focused on welcoming that abundance into your life. People often come out of this one, oh, he's dancing, right? I stretch. Sometimes I'll move my legs. Sometimes I'll bend my knees and put my feet so that they feel the vibration. It creates a very unique experience. The releases start to come right about now as you start to really drop into it. There's a middle section of this song which shortly after we'll pull Boris out. I think it's an underwater meadow. You'll hear it. There are kids playing in the background. There's water, a stream running through, and it's kind of like you're in a stream in a meadow, like underwater with the water running over you. It's really very relaxing. It's one of my favorite parts of this particular track. And I'll talk to people about it afterwards. Like, what'd you think of the underwater meadow? And a couple times they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what underwater meadow? And I'm like, what? You weren't like, it's just different for everybody. If you're here, if you're present, or if you're if you're traveling somewhere else, you can have a very interesting experience. This track is often met with a nice big grin and a nice big smile, as demonstrated to my right. And it's a very lovely experience. All of the music is available, by the way, like I said, for download, or I also have CDs in the car. I didn't quite exactly realize what I was walking into, but I can grab those if anybody's interested. I listen to Abundance through my house speakers as a way just for me to, get pumped up. I have, when we do trade shows, often I'll have speakers just like this, and I'll listen to it through that. Anyway. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions?
Where is it available online?
Bioharmonictechnologies.com. Yeah. And I can give my business card as well.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 So binaural beats you listen to through headphones, and they give you two different signals, a signal in your right ear, a signal in your left ear. The brain actually makes a third signal. It trains your brain and rewires the circuitry of your brain to create those sounds. We do not use binaural beats in our music. However, I have listened to binaural beats. I use a site called Revolutioner, which is a monthly subscription. It takes you through 4 levels of daily 12-minute binaural beat sessions. And when I got my Sound Lounge, I was like, I got to do this, right? I mean, you got they're high-definition Sennheiser headphones. They're high quality. Oftentimes, when we introduce this bed into a household, it's the highest end, the highest quality headphones that are in that house, and it was wonderful. Not all of the therapeutic got the bed going. He's drifting into the underwater meadow now, which is what I call it. I don't know what it actually is, but it's a low-end frequency that vibrates the bed. Again, you guys can all touch it without touching him or moving the bed, and he's literally just laying in this vibrational bliss, basically.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's just a big old grin, smile. Yeah. You know, again, we all have different things happening within us, and those things start to come up and out. It's a good shake, as you experienced, right? And those frequencies, again, they hit us at a cellular level, and sometimes we don't realize what we've been suppressing. Even as healers, you don't realize what you've picked up, right? I mean, when I'm doing my healings, I'm constantly saying over and over to myself, only good can come to me and through me. But sometimes I miss a spot, you know, and some things stick, and it's a matter of shaking them out. And we do that by getting healed ourselves, or you can hop on your Sound Lounge or listening to energy clearing. I do want to make sure this isn't something that you guys are streaming while you're driving a car. I've a couple people have been like, oh, I listen to it in my car. I'm like, please don't do that. Please don't do that, at least not while you're driving. Because oftentimes your car has, 10 speakers in it and surround sound and subwoofer. You just want to make sure that you're easing into it. I kind of like the end of this. It's so difficult to pull people out because there's no real good time to be like, come back. But I guess we can pull Boris out because I'm sure everybody else wants to try, yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, I get that a lot.
And I got a really good dance workout.
Yeah, you were moving a little bit over here too. It's pretty cool. You can take the eye mask off at your leisure.
Wow. It is something. I love this. This is a great experience. It was like a journey on many levels. You can have your visuals, and then it's really working with the energy of the music, with the vibration for the entire body. So you have a really full experience of that. Every cell of your body really feels it. So it enhances anything you're putting out. It's quite enhancing.
Amplified.
And I had quite a bit of workout the other day, so I have a little bit of like sore back. So that really felt good.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you kind of a little massage,
Yeah.
and it kind of.
And so I was moving a little bit.
Yeah. In this particular track, Abundance, typically when I listen to it, I've already listened to 17 minutes of energy clearing. As I come out of that, did you hear the underwater meadow?
Yeah.
Were you in it? The kids playing in the background and the water running like you're laying next to a stream. As it comes out and as the music comes back in, it goes back into the music that you have at the beginning. And oftentimes I'll stretch, I'll move my legs from side to side, I'll sit with my legs in a yoga position, but you started moving and dancing right off the bat. Yeah.
I need to dance a little bit.
Who's next? You did say there was dancing.
It's really cool. It's a really cool experience. Who's next?
Thank you.
Okay, go.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll.
Fun dancing.
it'll take a little while to integrate and kind of welcome yourself back. If you want to get some water, you should drink some water. Your cells are thirsty, I promise. They will thank you. Okay, head here, feet here. And which track would you like to try? Can I have your glasses? Excellent. Thank you. Well, that sounds like energy clearing. Again, it's a go-to on a regular basis. Energy clearing is just one that can be used on a regular basis. The necklaces, you just want to swing to the right. Which is very common. It's one of the reasons why we really enjoy the weighted beanbag. The eyes, they start to flutter as the energy starts to travel. And Linda's a very powerful healer. I can tell already. And she'll have her experience. It's so exciting. It's so wonderful to be able to share this type of experience. So I went up to LA to share this with a friend of mine who's got a lot of different toys, if you will, or a lot of different technology and devices. And he had tried the table at one of our clients who has a table in his house, and I brought it up to LA so that his mom can try it. She's 89 years old. And she wound up doing twice, actually. I was there for 3 hours. And there were only 3 of them, so they each got to do two sessions. And she did energy clearing, and then I'd already shown her son and her daughter, daughter-in-law, albeit, several different tracks. They tried 2 or 3 different tracks, and when I told her which, hey, you want to go again? Yeah, sure. She said I could take a little bit more. Let's do it again. I said that's outstanding. Which one would you like to do? And she did energy clearing the second time. And there is entrainment that happens. So again, you could imagine your experience. Now you know it's coming, right? So it's a little different. Not only do you consciously know it's coming, your body knows it's coming and knows what it's going to experience. So it allows you to go deeper, faster. The protocol that's recommended for energy clearing in particular is once a day for 7 to 10 days. And then you can ease off it from there, right? So then you can listen to it every 2 days, every 3 days, every 4 days for more of a maintenance type of experience. Anything that you can connect to a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, you can connect to the Sound Lounge. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I had a gentleman come by actually late last night for a healing session, and Amma, I believe, Indian. She's an Indian spiritual. That's right. There you go. And the music sounded incredible through it. I mean, I was on this side of it, obviously. Jonah. His name is Jonah. Jonah, I can look it up, but he did cell cleanser. He works in construction. He's been having some issues with his back. He did the 30-minute version of cell cleanser. And when I came down, he felt refreshed, revived. Cell cleanser, very powerful therapeutic. It has theta wave, brainwave states built into it, and it takes you in a pretty deep dive into your consciousness if you allow it to, or simply just relax and ease into it, and you take a nap and you come out when the music stops. he said, so can I listen to anything through it? He says, I meditate on a regular basis to this beautiful music, and he shared the music with me, and I said, yeah, pull it up on your phone and let's give it a try. And he did 10 minutes on that. So not everything gets the bed going quite like this, but it is...
Those are specially programmed to really make the bed go.
Yeah, so these frequencies are frequencies that are below a particular hertz that the transducer picks up on. You'll notice in the headphones that you're also hearing the higher end of that frequency through the headphones and feeling the lower end. It's very important to note this is not a speaker. It's a tactile transducer, so you feel the music. It's not the same as listening to it. It's very much permeating up through your body from the bed. And even right now, like I've said before, all of us are experiencing these frequencies on some level. Very powerful when I was standing over you. Very powerful. That first one hit, and I mean, I could feel Kundalini energy almost coming up and out. It was very, very powerful. Yeah. Yeah. And, again, we're healers. We meditate. We have that practice. This can amplify that, especially abundance. The brain and nervous system stimulation, that track is called Spectrum. Again, it takes you on that journey. That one is very much designed to focus the brainwave states and take you on a journey. I do that one usually 2 or 3 times a week. I take this bed to co-working facilities, spaces like WeWork, or the Hive, or Desk Hub, downtown San Diego, and that's a popular one during the day, right? For those of us that live with ADD or ADHD that have lots of different focuses of our mind, brain and nervous system stimulation can calm and focus. I often have folks that tell me, hey, thanks for that this morning. I don't know what you did, but I've been focused on this particular project, or my creativity was brought up and out in a way that I haven't experienced in some time. It becomes very powerful. To see Dr. Schwartz work, to see Steve work with these frequencies on an individual basis is very powerful. The conversations that I've had with folks that were trained directly by Olav Skile, and that's a little bit different. You can hear the underlying frequencies. Those folks that are working with that modality are just using that frequency. And oftentimes they're using it with 1 or 2 transducers, focusing, as you asked before, focusing that energy on one part of the body. Or coupling,
Let's say over here you want certain area.
yeah, or focusing on Reiki, and feeling the energy of the body. We were up in Los Angeles, and we were doing this healing work, and we had other tools, not just the bed, but we had another table that was set up without vibroacoustics, and we were doing Reiki, and we were using drums, and we were using rattles, and we were using it's amazing. It's amazing. One of my favorite things is having those that work with the bowls get on the bed, right? Because not only are you working with, but you're getting that healing too. So to experience, particularly energy clearing, to have the bowls and to feel the reverberation without you doing it.
When I use a healing bowl, not metal bowl,
Mm-hmm.
I put on the heart,
Mm-hmm.
just bang it a few times, you can sleep perfectly afterwards.
Oh, absolutely.
The entire body gets really
Harmonized.
harmonized.
Do you know what
Just put it and
note?
I think it's the heart.
Heart chakra, yeah. I have an AE bowl.
Really powerful.
I have an AE Tibetan bowl, and it's a bell. I mean, I hit it with a mallet, and
But especially when you put it on the heart.
I put it right on my chest. Oh yeah. I lay down, and I.
The entire body feels it.
Sometimes I have my wife hit it. Like I can't. So I'll have my wife. I'll have her put her hand in the middle and whack it. She likes that, and it's really nice.
But you don't have to keep the boss here because you have it right in the music.
It's right there in the music with the other frequencies underneath it. Yeah, it's very powerful. Very, very
Squeeze
powerful.
your feet as well, because with that you don't get all the way to the feet.
I went for an energy clearing. So Tuesday nights at Inner Temple. You know Dr. Dream?
Dr. Dream,
Yeah.
He does the essential oils and
Travels all over the world, and
actually that boy is from Kenya.
I don't know. Dr. Dream. He travels all over the world in a truck and an RV camper with 300 handmade Tibetan singing bowls. I got my AE bowl from Dr. Dream. And you sit in a room in meditation, and it usually has a couple angels that have bowls and go around the room as well so that everybody can experience it. And
Then she might have a chocolate experience.
yeah, he does the chocolate. He does the chocolate as well. So I'm kind of sitting in my chair, and it's time for the third eye bowl. And he walks around and he talks about the bowl and the frequency and the note, and you do the oil. And as I was closing my eyes, he says, now we'll have the experience. And they start hitting the bowls. And just as I'm closing my eyes, I see him snap eye contact with me and aggressively walk towards me with the bowl. And I just closed my eyes and I let it feel. And he hit that bowl right over my third eye, and color galore. It was really remarkable. Really just absolutely remarkable. So I've had a lot of very interesting experiences with sound healers and bowls in particular. And it sounds like you should. Do you speak here? I think I need to come here on a regular basis and experience and tap into all that is Tuesday nights in the Heart Center.
I had experience that they pull me from my chest up,
Oh,
literally up.
wow.
I hang it like this.
Wow. I've heard many people have that experience on this bed, where they'll say, I feel as though, I mean, the vibration, again, you had it at about 70%, right? So there's more. The tactile transducers that are in here are made custom for us, so that they have the right frequency response.
I don't know how to describe it. I could feel the waves in my hands. Of course, being a healer, that's probably why. But I could feel the waves in my hands. I felt energy coming up and waving throughout my body. When it went into the deep one, I felt my body almost kind of going.
Yeah, that first deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I felt my kundalini just playing all throughout. Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting means so many different things.
No. I mean, it was pleasant. I don't know if I would call it relaxing because I was so busy experiencing. That's what I would say. I was experiencing so many different sensations.
Good to be in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So, something I would definitely do again.
Cool. Me and you are going to be friends for a long time, so I'm glad we were brought together today. Who's next? And then there were 4. Head here, feet here. Cool. Dr. Stephen Schwartz, he talks on a regular basis. We want to get him out speaking more. The research that he's been doing and the work that he's read is really remarkable. We're interested in doing our own research as well. We're a small startup, if you can imagine. Yeah, Jess, I was with Jess today, actually. I'm very interested to do the SciTech studies. Would you like to be a subject? Right? I mean, yeah. SciTech.
Thermography and a lot of good stuff. Thermography is what they use, but also different equipment. So it's a very, very high-end lab, technology lab. You can see what's happening before. They can measure your energy, what happens, and then and after, right after the pranic healing, they can see your aura, how is. Yeah, it can be the subject.
SciTech, PSY-TEK. And Encinitas. Yeah, you know, I was with Jess today. We should do that. Yeah, so this past weekend we were at CalJam, which is one of the largest gatherings of chiropractors in California. And the Newcom team was there. Have you seen Newcom? I'm not going to do it exactly justice, but Newcom basically is for relaxation. And it's a little bit of a 3-step process. Yeah, that's that first one. She's doing great. Yeah. If you work with energy in particular, the hands, they're just so thin and they're right next to the bed. A lot of people will start with their hands over their stomach and kind of a protection, and usually that's where they just drop out. Yeah. 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 It's nice. We're excited to do that research and really see, what type of impact this is having on the body. It's one thing to feel it and experience it and know that it's happening. It's another thing to be able to document it. Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. So there are already studies. There are scientific studies, double-blind, placebo, all that good stuff. There are white papers written on frequency therapy. We offer the research. We're updating our website to include downloads and notes of all of that research, so you have access to it. When you take home your own table, because again, this is what we manufacture and distribute and sell this for practitioners and individuals, $4,500. And it's turnkey. This is our base unit. It's built for the home. And it comes, it's a 230 watt amplifier. There's actually 2 amplifiers. There's a separate amplifier for the headphones. It comes with everything that you see here except for the eye mask. And it includes an Amazon Fire, which has all of the music and all of the research. This is a 230 page white paper on vibroacoustics. It's interesting as Dr. Schwartz speaks about this, and he talks about his experience and how it built from being a chiropractor practicing in Colorado to beginning to use lasers and light therapy and then sound and creating vibroacoustic therapeutic music. He didn't know what vibroacoustic therapy was. He didn't know that it was an entire field of research that was at this point 30 years old. The first time he was told about it, you can see him get teary-eyed just thinking about realizing the work that he was doing, that there was already so many other people that were walking his path, that had done research and published papers and had done the research. It was really something that was quite enlightening for him.
Connected to the cymatics, like the different frequencies, different patterns and structures.
Yeah. So what's really interesting, so just before I got aligned with this particular company, Holistic Health Science, I was in New York with an energy healer friend of mine, Ms. Abigail Devine, very talented, and I was staying at her house, so I was very blessed, and she said, I want to do a sound healing on you, and of course I said, okay. And she had a singing bowl, and she put water in it, and she got it humming, and you can see the schematics of the water. She says, so this is going to be your body. And I said, that sounds great, sign me up. But if you haven't done it, it's a great way to demonstrate. If you have a singing bowl here, we can even take a look at it. It's remarkable. So you can see the frequency. Mm-hmm. Really powerful work. Of course, Dr. Emoto's research with water, right? In imprinting water, and of course we're made of 70 to 90% water depending on our age, so we can imprint ourselves with those frequencies of love or hate or ignorance, or very powerful. Choose.
Interesting to see how the pan-rhythm music would look like in terms of frequency, because that's the universal cosmic rhythm. It's very powerful. Have you ever tried dynamic meditation?
I have not.
That comes from Bulgaria. I teach that. So maybe one time you may want to try to experience something like that.
I'm in. I say yes, right? I'll try anything twice. The second time just to make sure.
Question: do people ever use this type of sound healing or modality for like channeling purposes? Because I find I'm very, very reactive to frequencies, especially sound.
Mm.
And I've recently discovered that essentially, you told me before that I was a medium. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I believe you now. I'm a telepathic medium.
Yeah.
See these, basically their frequencies, their downloads. Like she's a trance channeler. That's not me. It's a different modality.
Yes.
And I find that the sound is very activating for me
Mm-hmm.
as far as like receiving those downloads, those
Yeah.
messages.
Yeah.
Is that something that has been explored?
Not yet.
Because I feel like I need to explore it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And I
Yeah.
do too.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you're open to it and those pathways are open, look, there, especially again as you start to get accustomed to it, right? I mean, as you start to get used to these, and it's less about what's going on and more about, it's very powerful. Frequency and the amount of frequency that the body is, I think it's the key to interdimensional travel. I think there are.
Literally, I felt my body raise up and then come,
Yeah.
go up and then come down.
The question becomes how much conscious awareness you have of that, and that I think comes in practice and experiencing it and playing with it. I mean, this is very, very. It's interesting for something that's so well researched. And when I say well researched, it's not as well researched as some of the more popular disease that we work with. However, you'll search vibroacoustic therapy and you'll find there's more than enough to read in one night sitting or 2 or 3 or a week's worth, and then some. To get those folks that have those powers, that can do it from a meditative state without sound or frequency, to present them with this type of technology. I mean, again, we just created this particular bed in July of last year. There are other sound tables on the market. We're not the inventors, as I mentioned. It's been around for a long time. But we took it to another level with intention, right? To take it to another level. Right? I mean, and there are other companies, and I reach out to these other companies, and I talk to them on a regular basis to better understand what they're doing and how they're doing it. Look, a rising tide raises all ships, and it's such a small niche market that I truly believe that, and Steve and Dominic share, look at that release, share the vision that this is a revolution. I noticed you don't have a television in your living room, right? But every home in America does, for the most part. I'm sure, I mean, mine does. There's no cable connected to it. But, I would love to see a sound lounge in every house. So when you want to take a break, you put on energy clearing or abundance or cell cleanser, right? Whatever you want, or a meditation. And that's your break. Think about how much more powerful the human, race would be.
Dennis do it,
Mm.
It's very soft classical music
Mm-hmm.
in the
Yeah.
house.
It's beautiful.
On the ground. What I was trying to tell you is that I follow a train like with some facial energies. I'm sorry? solfeggio energy. Yeah, the sol. Sorry. Yeah, solfeggio. Yeah, okay. And after a while, following that and getting used to it, I went with Dennis to Yosemite, and we went for a hike. Wow! I tell you, what I hear in a simple creek was amazing. How the ear become trained to distinguish modality within modality within modalities and modalities and modalities, you know? And the sounds of trees were completely different. And I could project myself in the valley. Do you remember, Dennis, when we were at the looking at the valley, at the Yosemite Valley? Yosemite Valley? Yeah. That I could project myself really down there and come back and really. Do you remember when you said to me, you changed the frequency of the group already? You don't remember, but I don't remember. I don't remember that. We were in the gazing at. Yeah, absolutely. Not with all of us, because you came to stand beside me, and then he said to me, yeah, you already did it. Yeah. So amazing.
That level of entrainment, right? Utilizing frequency to open up, whether it's a neural pathway or a spiritual pathway, being able to tap back into that on, when you need to, very powerful. Drop into that frequency, very powerful. Even I've noticed my meditation has gone deeper, faster. I felt your energy come into the room. That would have, months ago, I've only been using the table for 3 months, that would have knocked me, it would have snapped me out of it. And I was consciously aware, but still very much tapped in, which feels good, right? Yeah.
She's still there.
Want to say something?
Sure.
You got that.
Oh, that was amazing.
13 minutes. That was the longest.
Oh my gosh. I've never felt anything like that before. Most of the time I didn't even have the awareness that I was on a table. It felt so multi-dimensional. I felt like I was in a chamber or something. And it would get to this such a high vibrational state that I would just lose all sense of my body altogether. But that was amazing. Thank you so much. Incredible. Very powerful.
Cool. Thank you. That was about 60%, right? Again, the transducers, they're very powerful. Yours was higher. Yeah, we took you. Yeah, about 90. I think you're about 90%, 80, 90%. You were about 80, 90%. Where should we take you? then there were two. Cool. Anybody else have anything they want to share or talk about? I'm excited to have Dr. Schwartz come back. I'm excited for him to walk you through his frequency demonstration. I've seen him do this with crowds of 30 people, 40 people, and the setup that he's able to do, because he can play the didgeridoo. Oh, absolutely, yeah. So he has a microphone he puts on the floor and a mixer, and we have a speaker. It's with circular breathing, and and again, just the bed that picks up the low end frequency. I think it's an F and I think A. He has two didgeridoos that he brings. It's really hard to explain that level of, because it's a human-made noise, right? Which these are recordings, even though they're recordings of human-made noise, it's very powerful. That energy transfers through the microphone and through the bed in a very powerful way. It's a nice little treat, Thank you again for hosting us. Are people hanging on? Is our broadcast still going? Still going. Outstanding. Quite the following. It's wonderful. And I hope you'll try as well.
I think I will let Carlos do it, and then it'll be a good excuse for me to bring you back.
Okay. Okay. Numero uno. So you can see his breathing pattern, very deep, and then short. No. Yeah, no, you can't. Yes. Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say after your comment. If you've been in a sensory deprivation tank, a float tank, right? This is very opposite of that. And it would be interesting even for you and Linda, if you haven't checked these out. There's one in North County. Solana Beach, yeah. So in a sensory deprivation tank, you're floating in water that's filled with almost 700 or 800 pounds of salt, Epsom salt. So you can't go underwater. The water is 98.6 degrees, so you don't feel the water. You're in a dark tank. The door is closed. It's closed. All you smell is the salt, so you can't smell anything. You can't see anything because it's literally pitch black. Your hand in front of your face, you can't see. And you have earplugs in, so you can't hear. It's a very unusual feeling. And you can't taste, because all you taste is salt, right? Very unusual feeling. I've done about 60 minutes in a tank. They say at 90 minutes and 120 minutes, 2 hours, very interesting things begin to happen to the body. And that's interesting is meant to be very vague, because it's different for everyone. This is sensory stimulation, right? So in this particular case, your feeling and touch is being stimulated. Hearing is being stimulated. Your eyes are covered, so you're very much sucked into the world, and it's dark. Your eyelids are closed. The weight of your eyes doesn't allow your eyelids to flutter in any way, shape, or form. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, your eyes were fluttering even before I put the mask on.
That's always. That's my downloads I get all the time.
Yeah. But with the mask, you have the weighted mask on, so even if they do begin to flutter, yeah. We have another system, a lighting system, that we can couple with this, and I'm going to save that for Steve. We have lights that flicker at specific pulsation ratios that are in harmony. They're in harmony with the music, so they're not synchronized. However, similar ratios that are built into the music, not similar, the same ratios that are built into the music are also built into the pulsation ratios of the lights.
Because there are certain frequencies, there's certain tones to each, there's certain colors to each music tone. Let's say C is red, and you get C, D is orange, like the chakras. And you get the greenest is the fa, which is the hard. So there's each one. You can go, if you look at the CD, how the spectrum goes and the octaves,
Hmm.
so you can see the music with colors.
Interesting.
You don't have that.
Look, there's a lot that needs to be developed. All right.
Very interested in that.
There are a number of lighting systems on the market. There are lighting systems that induce plant medicine-like experiences, and not the lights that we work with, but there are lights out there that will induce those types of experiences. Very powerful. I used a set of lights 2 weeks ago that was just a red light, but that is not what I saw. I saw colors of all of our transcendent masters. Yes, they were all with us, and I saw different frequencies and different colors, and I learned after that each color is a different ascended master that was there in the room, that was with me, which this is all very new for me. I'm first exploring, and I'm very blessed and very lucky to be able to take such a deep dive and to have folks like Dr. Stephen Schwartz that are with me and teaching me. And
So where is he now?
he's down south. He's prepping for a trip. I did ask him to come, and he wanted to be here, but he's flying out to Miami on Thursday, and just.
Where is he based? Is he based?
Oh yeah, here in San Diego. Yeah, he lives in Pacific Beach. Oh yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, it's gonna be wonderful. My wife wanted to be here tonight. She couldn't be here, so we'll be regular attendees and participants in this home, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, very powerful, very relaxed. So I look for microscopic movements in the feet. A lot of times you'll see the feet difficult during abundance. So it's a little different. It's a little different in abundance.
Nice disco music. It's like really nice.
Right? So what's really interesting about this, right?
You can see all the cool stuff that you want to have, and you can dance on it.
Yeah. So Steve.
That's my dollhouse, trying to Tesla and experiencing different things.
Cool. Steve's a chiropractor. He's not a musician. He made a dance track that everybody loves. I love house music. I love electronic dance music. I'm very blessed. So many of my friends are such talented international DJs and producers, and Abundance is one of my favorite tracks. I envision a future not far from today where DJs are mixing frequencies into their music, healing frequencies that are helping and guiding and supporting. It's tricky business, right? Because if you could experience walking into a nightclub not knowing you were going to get that type of experience, somebody like Amy or Linda or myself, it's very sensitive to that. It needs to come with disclaimer, right? And you need to be very careful with that. However, there are less powerful therapeutics at lower volumes that you can include. And I envision very soon a future where top 40 songs are utilizing those frequencies. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's funny that you say that, because the reason why I asked about the channeling thing is there is already music out there that's somewhat enlightening, that it doesn't have like this bass line to it, but it does have like the activating frequencies. Because again, like there's something about it, like receiving the downloads, the information that just I guess it hones in on that channel. Like I see myself as kind of like this antenna, and there's all this static because I'm receiving information from everywhere. But certain music, certain frequencies, certain things hone in that channel, and it turns it to the dial to the specific channel where I get the information. And I feel like this does that.
Yeah. And identifying that music or that frequency that's right for you.
It's really powerful, and there's certain music that does, like I've, I guess, found that, and yeah. So
I would love for you to listen to that music through this, right?
oh yeah.
Through the bed. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like that comes through.
It would be very interesting to hear penny rhythm music through this. To really dum dum. You hear that beat coming in through.
I haven't had anybody play anything through it that wasn't amplified and magnified to what their usual listening experience is.
That would be really interesting.
Would you maybe be willing to let me try at some point, just seeing what happens?
Happily.
Because I actually like the channel art. It comes through that way, and I
Do you have that? Do you have the music with you?
I do have the music, and I have an example of like just what happened the other day. Like, this is what I got
I mean-
after listening to a specific song. And if you're a healer, you might kind of understand it a little bit without understanding it, if that makes
Mhm.
sense, because it deals with symbolism. But
Mhm.
essentially, it's a shield, and it's three shields that make a fourth one. Because I'm a highly sensitive empath.
Mhm.
I've been getting my ass kicked
Mhm.
lately.
Mhm.
So this is what they gave me.
Yeah, there's a lot in the field right
And
now.
this right here, if you're familiar with like Keylontic silence or ascension mechanics, anything like that,
Mm.
it's the 12D like Maharaj shield.
Mhm.
So that's what it's based off of. So
Hmm.
this is me like grounding into the earth and into the central galactic core, basically. So I'm
Mhm.
totally centered because
Mhm.
down isn't really down. We're on a circle,
Mhm.
right? So I got that, and then this is my connection to like the galactics.
Have you identified the symbols?
I'm a star seed, so I get a lot of symbols
Mhm.
from a lot of places.
Yeah.
I've been, I guess, doing this my whole life without realizing it.
Mhm.
So these symbols, I've been told they're Arcturian.
Yep.
Not sure,
Hmm.
honestly. Maybe.
Mm.
But this is like my galactic starseed connection. So this is basically, this is my source connection, this is my galactic connection, and then this purple right here is the Ascended Masters and the Violet Flame, which is basically like the my transmutation ring, essentially. And those three shields together create the fourth shield, which is like, picture a bubble, I guess, that sort of pearlescent, changing spectrum that you get when you see a bubble. Yeah.
When you're ready,
So music does this to me already. And
Yeah.
I want to combine music with that and see what else happens.
I do too.
I feel like I'm
Right?
here tonight for a reason because of this.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
Good is good.
Yeah, I don't think I quite mentally transported as much as the rest of you guys, but that's just because I'm not as
It's not a competition.
right. Yeah, it definitely helped me relax. I wanted the bed to be fully vibrating the whole time. I didn't want that feeling to go away, but that was my favorite part. Just
Sure.
and yeah, really breathing in deeply as when it was really going off seemed to help a lot.
Yeah, the ratios that are built into the music, the body begins to breathe with that. It's interesting. Are you familiar with hemisync?
That's what I listened to.
Hemisync. So I'm talking with hemisync about using our bed, and they've sent me some of their music, and they have this shamanistic, a lot of drums, and there's shaman's heart. It's like this dish 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 dish. Oh, so I'm working my way. Those tracks are 68, 70, 90 minutes. I couldn't listen to all of them through, although I would love to. Within just a short period of time, I immediately felt my heartbeat because beating in sync with the music. Very powerful, very powerful. So having a delivery system like this, again, just helps to amplify that message. Carlos?
Your turn. You're up. I don't want abundance. I don't want the most quiet vibration that you have.
The most quiet vibration
The most subtle frequency that you have. The one
challenging.
base me in the rhythms of my heart, spiritual heart.
I feel lighter. I still feel like I'm kind of floating a little bit.
Take it deeper.
I feel like there's.
This is a hefty watch.
I feel like all of the water that's in my body is now carbon, like it's bubbles.
Yes, yeah, carbon is
Yeah.
biggest watch I think I've seen.
I'm being tracked.
This is an alien watch.
it takes you on a kind of a cyclical journey. Just it's very entrancing. And this, as well as the Spectrum track, yeah, he's already dropped in.
There's a way that we can all hear what he's hearing.
Oh yeah. So yeah, so we have another setup. You need this particular amplifier doesn't have an output. However, what we usually do when we do our demonstrations is we have a mixing board, and the mixer feeds into, as one of the channels is the output, and then we have a monitor channel which is a speaker, and that speaker projects out. Yeah, which, you know, some of the frequencies are beautiful to listen to, others not so much. This track in particular, it really takes you on a nice journey. You guys can feel the bed. This is even at 70%. This is you can feel. Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it. He's enjoying himself right now. I might even turn it down a little bit. So you'll get stuck in my toe socks. So this track, I mean, it's going through these different frequencies, and it's so low. It's just wonderful. It's just really beautiful the way it moves from one to another. Yeah. So a lot of times I'll put a towel, again, because it's a metal rack. Yeah. Or I could just sit here. That frequency right there is so low. I mean, it right to the core of your chest, your heart chakra. Oh. The beauty is he can't hear that, right? No, he's not hearing the rattling. Yeah, let me see. Ta-da! Powerful scarf. Powerful scarf. Yeah, this one is it's just, again, it's just so beautiful, right? When your eyes are covered and you dip into music. I mean, how often do we listen to music with our eyes closed? Yeah, some of us more often than others, I guess. Right, but really pleasant and really nice to really. My wife is a classical violinist. She's been playing for 25 years. I love listening to her play. I'll sit at the symphony with my eyes closed and feel the music. It's beautiful to watch. It's also beautiful to listen. These headphones, I mean, to listen to it through these headphones is really beautiful and wonderful. Yeah, it really sucks you in. Any other thoughts, questions? How are you feeling? Are you integrating? Cool.
Now I just need to manifest one of these. That's all.
May the manifestation begin.
The intention is there.
In the future, all that will be one part.
No, it's a very powerful tool.
And then I can compose music, and then play it, and I have a few pieces that I composed, and we just need to go through that.
Again, with a microphone, anything you can play, you can listen to. So we were at the Conscious Life Expo, and we were handing out flyers, telling people with a room number and come upstairs. We're doing a holistic happy hour, and Saturday ran pretty late for the vendors and for the exhibitors. But guys showed up with an electric harp. Peter, very famous harp player from Sedona. He like wheeled it through the front door of our hotel room. He says, I was told to bring my harp. And I said, yeah, absolutely. You heard right. Bring your harp. And it was beautiful. Again, the high strings were coming through the headphones. And this was an electric harp, so we could plug it directly into the mixer. And the lows, I mean, you could hear when he strummed the lows, a boom, the whole bed, just like that. And you'd usually get a moan or a whoa or a ah or a oh yeah, do that again. You know, it was really cool to watch and listen.
Aura becomes extra powerful. It's not just recorded as a sound, but
So talented.
he's actually playing it. So that's the live music difference.
So talented. That particular night, we also had a woman who sung. So she felt called to go sing, and she sang with the harp and the thing and his frequencies. I mean, it was really wonderful. This track gets a little bit more intense as it goes on, and right after this crescendo, and it's just anyway. I love it. I listen to this stuff over and over again. Yeah, this is my wife's favorite song, so she's constantly listening to it, almost daily. It's very soothing and relaxing, and then it's just great. Anyhow, that one, it's so good. It's so good. Anyhow.
Put some balance on your feet before he starts. And you really
Oh yeah. I'll
what oils did you put on your
That was balance.
balance?
Yeah, when I meditate, I like balance, very grounding and calming. I put it on my throat, my jugular, back of my neck, frankincense in my third eye, and my crown. And if I had sandalwood, I'd use sandalwood too. Bottoms of my feet. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, really wonderful. I also do essential oils. I prefer doTERRA, Young Living, but only because it's easy access to a high quality regular oil. There's lots of great oil manufacturers out there. I don't want to discount some of the other high therapeutic, high quality organic oils, but I prefer those. Really wonderful. We can end the broadcast whenever you want. You want to hear Carlos? Yeah. Thank you again for having us. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Please. Yes, please, please. Yeah, I do. Wonder if
I can take a picture of your card if you don't have enough. That's fine.
yeah, no, I've got a lot. Yes, please. You're welcome. And you'll find me on the meetup group too. Alright, so I can post.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah, that's our office address. And you'll find me on the meetup group. So send me. Yeah, absolutely. I have a picture that looks like this. A lot of hair. You'll find pictures of me on the internet, and particularly Facebook. For the last 20 years, I've shaved my head and my face every 2 weeks, like tighter than you've got. And I've never had facial hair before. This is like a totally new experience. I think, Linda, I think it was you who mentioned something about just let your antenna, put your antenna out there. So for shaving my head for 20 years and all the hair off my body, your hair is an extension of your nervous system and your spiritual antenna. So I'm going. So they say for the 3-year mark is when there's a palpable difference in your intuition, your creativity, and your connection to source. I already have noticed the difference. I mean, again, I was the other, drastic end of shaving my head, and I would, hindsight being 2020, I would feel almost naked and exposed. I would always wear a shawl or a hat to be covered. It's very odd. I mean, the wind blows through my hair. Like I got my beard caught in my jacket yesterday because I was wearing a rain jacket, so I was zipping up my jacket, and like all these experiences are so new for me. I've never, my hair goes over my ears. Can't hear. I don't know how you ladies do it. Like, that was like a first for me. My wife was like, Craig, and I'm like, what? I can't hear. Like, I couldn't hear. It's funny. I wake up with my wife's fingers in my hair. Look, I've never had hair. She's like, I've never run my fingers through your hair before. I've been with her for 9 years. Yeah, it was really cool. So, very unique.
You can grow your hair as much as you want, and at some point the hair will stop at your perfect.
That's right.
It will just stop.
That's right. Yeah.
So it will be just perfect for your connection with the universe or whatever. So it's not gonna go
So that night in New York that I was telling you about, where I was having that sound healing, she was also doing some Reiki work on me. And at the end of it, I asked her, like, what'd you see and how was that? And she told me that all of my chakras were blown wide open except for my crown chakra. It was shut. And I said, shut. And she said, closed off, completely closed off. I said, okay, that's the message I needed to hear, and I just kind of let that settle in, right? But, I mean, I meditate, that wasn't very, I don't know what she said. Well, whatever feeling that she saw, or whatever it was that she picked up on, right, her expression of it, and I said, okay, I let that settle in. I talked to my friend of mine who I look up to spiritually, and I kind of told him the experience that I had. He didn't even take a breath. He said, it's your hair, brother. You cut off all your hair. And I said, what do you mean? And this is where he enlightened me and opened me up to all of these. Hair is an extension of your nervous system. It's your spiritual antenna. And you cut. I mean, I've known him for a long time, and for the entire time he tells me, you shouldn't cut your hair. You should grow your hair out. And I'm like, nah, that was the last day I cut my hair. It was October 19th of last year. How was that? It's my favorite question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Journey. I went into a cave, dark cave, lie down on this rock, and I'm being absorbed by the rock, literally. Absorbed, and became part of that rock. And at the same time, another part of me was flying on the dark sky full of stars, where the sounds of asteroids, planets were so an amazing symphony, amazing vibrational fields. And at the end, when the music was finishing, I felt that raining drops bringing harmonizing serenity in the whole being. Yeah.
Powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, when you're ready, please remove it. It's brighter. Yeah. Is that everyone? I owe you?
Will come back to me another time.
Okay.
So we'll end the broadcast now.
Thank you very much for having me and our Vibroacoustic Sound Lounge. Thank you.
Greg, why don't you blow out the candle, and we'll all stand and we'll send this back to God. And thank you for joining us. And anything you'd like to say? To the masters and the angels, go ahead.
Thank you for guiding us, for looking after us, for protecting us, for showing us the light, and giving us the power and the strength to shine our light brighter and further today than we did yesterday.
Thank you, everybody online. This will conclude our Tuesday night meditation. Tomorrow is Mother Mary Rosary and Healing Service. Wednesday is Kuan Yin. Thursday is Kuan Yin Rosary. They all start at 7:30. You can join online or be here in person. God bless, and we'll see you very soon.